number 7, they want us to take a complex number to the third power, but they have given it to us in rectangular form, and to use our nice little theorem, we need it in polar form. So let's get it in polar form. Start out with r. That's the square root of 16 plus 9, or the square root of 25. So that's 5. R is 5. And theta is the inverse tangent. You do this so many times, you learn it, right? Of negative 3/4. Oh gosh, so of course we don't know that, so we need our calculator. So get out your calculator. The inverse tan of negative 3/4, and make sure you're in, let's get it in degrees. So change your mode to degrees, and we get negative 30 inverse tan of, should get 143.13 degrees. So I'm going to check my mode in degrees. So what happened here? So what happened when I took a negative 3/4, the tangent of negative 3/4? It gave me a negative degree, and if I'm in the unit circle, that's down here. But what quadrant is this in? So remember, the calculator only gives you the first angle it comes to, and I am in quadrant 2 here. And so I need its reference angle, so I need the one that's 180 degrees away. So I'm going to add 180 degrees to negative 36.86987. So this didn't happen in the notes, but it's happening now. So we're going to say theta equals 143.130. Now, it still could be negative 36. We're just trying to use the positive number. So when we use our theorem, we can say that let's write it in polar form. That would be r, which is 5, and then cosine of 143.13 degrees plus I sine of 143.13 degrees. Okay, so now using our theorem, we would say we want to raise this all to the third power. So we would say that's 5 to the third, and then that's cosine of 3 times 143.13 degrees plus I sine of 3 times 143.13 degrees. So we might as well just multiply it all together as we go. So 5 cubed, you know, is 125. So 125 times the cosine of 3 times 143.13, I get 44. So mine came out to be 44. Hang on just a sec. Sorry, I had to run off for a second. 44.0 plus I, and then we would have the same thing with sine. So just take your calculator and change it to sine, and you should get 116.99 or 117. So what I'm getting, 117.0 I. All right, so that's what I got for number 7. And let's do number 8 in the same video. So number 8 is again not in polar form, the square root of 5 minus I square root of 15, and they want that to the 6th power. So r would be the square root of 5 squared, so that's 5 plus 15, which is the square root of 20, which is 2 square root of 5. So r is 2 square root of 5. Theta is the inverse tan of the square root of 15 over the square root of 5, which is the square root of 15 over 5, which is the square root of 3. What quadrant are we in? We're in the fourth quadrant. We have a positive here and a negative here. So in the fourth quadrant, where is tangent the square root of 3? And that would be 5 pi over 3. So theta equals 5 pi over 3. So our polar form of our equation would be 2 square root of 5 times the cosine of 5 pi over 3 plus I sine of 5 pi over 3. And then that's all supposed to be raised to the 6th power. So you have 2 square root of 5 to the 6th power times cosine of 6 over 3 is 2, so that's 10 pi plus I sine of 10 pi. So that's kind of easy, 10 pi. Okay, so 2 to the 6 is 64, and the square root of 5 to the 5th power would be, or to the 6th power would be 3, so it should be 125. So 125 times 64 comes out to be 8,000. So we get, I'll just erase that and write 8,000. 8,000 times cosine of 10 pi. Okay, wait, we don't need to write that because I know what the cosine of 10 pi. That would just be the same thing as 2 pi, right? It's just 5 times 2 pi. So that would be 1 and plus 0. So we just get 8,000 for this guy. All right, so that was numbers 7 and 8.